every thought that comes to us that is outside of the will of God for us, for our lives, for our purity, those thoughts must submit to God, to the power of God. They don't have a choice. They need to submit to the power and to the authority of God. And so what happens was that when a negative thought would come into my mind during that season that will cause me fear, I will overpower that thought with Jesus, with the authority of Jesus. Now, it's not that I was conjuring up anything. I was just meditating on scripture. So that practice taught me the freedom and free will that all of us have, that, wow, if, we become what we think. That's a fact. You become the things that you decide to dwell on, the things that you decide to meditate upon, the things you decide to chew and ruminate on. You become those things. But what you need to realize is that you're the one who's choosing to think about those things. You're the one who's choosing to ruminate and meditate upon those things. No one is making you do it, right? Because also, not all thoughts are yours. It's not every thought that comes into your mind that belongs to you. Intrusive thoughts are real. Satan, the scriptures describes him as the prince of the power of the air. Sometimes you're there and a thought suddenly will come into your mind. You're like, whoa, where did this suddenly come from? And sometimes many people will just condemn themselves about having such thoughts, like, oh my gosh, am I a bad person for having these thoughts? Why am I having? No. Listen. It's not you. It's an intrusive thought. Let that thought go. As the thought came, let it pass. Overpower the thought with another thought, because no two thoughts can stay in your mind at once, right? However, the stronger one is the one that you as a person, you choose to ruminate on, you choose to chew on. Now, how does this apply on your purity journey? It applies because, let's say you're desiring to please God in purity, but all of the things you used to do, the self-pleasuring, the fornicating, the fantasies and everything, right? It keeps it's in your mind so much. In your thoughts, your memories are haunting you. And yes, it's very real. I want to acknowledge that. However, I also want to bring you back to God's truth. He says that whatever things are true and pure and lovely and praiseworthy and excellent, meditate on these things. He says, dwell, think. I like how the NLT says, it says, think about these things. That's what you should think on. That lets you know that you have a choice. You have a choice as to what you want to think on. You have a choice as to what you want to meditate upon, right? And so if I want to pursue purity and I realize that, okay,